The state of the vote for the President of the United States, as delivered to the President of the Senate, is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
She tried to speed through that, didn't she? She tried to speed through that one. She tried to hurry up and get that off. She tried to say the Donald Trump one and then the Kamala Harris one. And shout out to Mike Johnson, because Mike Johnson understands that if it wasn't for Trump, he wouldn't even be House Speaker. This has to be one of the most embarrassing things. And because she's trying to save face and possibly, a lot of people are saying, it's a lot of rumblings, that she could possibly run for president of the United States of America again in 2028 against J.D. Vance, which we know that would be an absolute disaster. That would be an embarrassment for her, because there's no way in the world that she would ever touch J.D. Vance. But more importantly, it's a possibility and more likely an opportunity for her to run for governor of California and ruin that state even worse than Gavin Newsom. I'm not even sure if there's a worse governor in the United States of America. Maybe Kathy Hochul, J.B. Pritzker over in Illinois. But her running for governor of the state of California in 2026 is probably more of a closer opportunity for her. Then she has to still do her job, remain professional. And honestly, she's really been MIA and non-existent since the presidency. This is really this. She did a little bit of a speech over to the donors to make sure that she appeased the donors, or tried to. And then also she did a video where she was kind of drunk and thanking her supporters, allegedly from over in Hawaii. She's trying to speed through this, and the House won't let her just get through it. They just making sure that she acknowledged the fact that she absolutely got trounced. 312 electoral college votes to 226. It's bad.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes. The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes.
President in 2028.
Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration.
A lot of people didn't even realize during the election that the president of the Senate is the vice president of the United States of America. A lot of us need to take a civics class before we get to 2026.
The persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
All right, there it is, the final gavel coming down there, and Donald Trump has secured 312 electoral votes to Vice President Harris's 226 when she announced the winner. The Republicans stood up and gave a standing ovation for the victor, Donald J. Trump.
Of the joint
And then when she
having been
announced the
concluded
loser,
pursuant
it
to
looks Wilson,
Senate
she's still
Concurrent
talking.
Resolution Number 2, the 119th Congress, the chair declares this joint session dissolved. Thank you.
The joint session has been dissolved. A lot of grace there by the vice president. That cannot be an easy thing to do. You put decades into a political career and you get an opportunity to run for president. Obviously, the circumstances were what they were. Obviously, her campaign was what it was. But you have to stand there in front of the world and smile and pretend as though no big deal, no big deal.
Yeah, we know that it's a huge deal. It's a massive deal. Um, and honestly, I don't even think that she should have been in the race in the first place. I think that that's the biggest takeaway is a lot of people are trying to make it seem like, and they make excuses. You know, people always make excuses, especially for women, but for Democratic women and liberal women, they make excuses and they say, "Oh man, it's Biden's fault. He should have dropped out earlier," and all of this stuff. I don't even think that she should have been vice president of the United States of America in the first place. That was the first shoe to drop. The second shoe to drop is the fact that I'm not even sure that Biden won being president of the United States of America in the first place for 2020. Now, what I do think happened was a blessing. I believe that we had an opportunity to really appreciate Trump, which is one of the reasons why he won again. He's also made history in beating two presidential candidates that were women from the Democratic side, first being Hillary Clinton and then now Kamala Harris. But I think that we've had an opportunity to appreciate and see what we were missing out on from Trump and being able to suffer through 2020 through 2024. Now we have a new era. It is about to be January 20th, 2025, very, very soon. We will be anointing and at his inauguration, seeing the transition away from Biden, who Trump, and we'll go over this on the Millionaire Morning Show, so make sure y'all tap into the Millionaire Morning Show. Trump has said that Biden is making it very difficult throughout this time from November 4th all the way over into January 20th. He's making it very difficult, and the transition has been absolutely abysmal, which I believe that this is nothing, this is nowhere near a smooth transition. And the only thing that I can think of that Biden did that kind of aligns with what Trump is saying that he was going to do was veto the sale of US Steel over to a Japanese company. Now, again, I think that we're in for a ride this first 2 years. It should be very interesting. We've already seen a lot of wrangling from his cabinet members as far as the picks that he selected. And then, in addition to that, we've also seen a lot of wrangling from people complaining about tariffs. And just earlier today, we seen the Canadian Minister say that he was stepping down and resigning. So I think that the next 2 years is going to be pivotal to set it up for whether or not we actually think that the economy and we putting ourselves in a position to undo all of the things that we've experienced over the last 3.5, 4 years. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off life. I love you. I'll see you. I'll see y'all guys. See you guys in the morning. Peace.